Welcome to the Service Industry Podcast. I've spent the last decade as a CEO, operator, and business builder selling tens of millions of dollars in products and services. I, just like many of you, started with nothing. My mission for this podcast is to help you become the greatest version of yourself, help you grow and scale your business, and create the life you've always dreamed of. I'm your host, Matt Smith. Enjoy the episode. What's going on, guys? Matt here from the Service Industry Podcast. Hope everybody's doing well. I got first, happy Monday. I got my can of bubbly, sparkling water. I'm on the sparkling water kick. This is totally a side thought. I'm just looking at the can because it's a cool design. I'm on the sparkling water kick right now, and it is just a nice way to drink something carbonated instead of garbage, okay? A little hack. It's got just enough flavor to shut me up. But if you look at the back of it, it's zeros all the way down, dude. There's absolutely nothing in this thing. So a little weight loss, weight maintenance hack. Go buy some bubbly, sparkling water. They are not a advertiser of the podcast. So hope you guys are doing good. Happy Monday. Hey, before we dive in, because we got a good episode today, I think almost every business owner is going to relate to it. But before we dive in, as always, you guys know I own serviceindustrycoach.com, which we offer super high level print marketing strategies, design, printing, straight to your front door. By far, we are the best in the home service business space at what we do. And that's not just because I own the thing. Dude, I've been doing it for over a decade. Okay. So if you need print marketing, we are the go-to for that. Second, if you need one-on-one coaching and you want to take your business to the next level, I've likely gone where you're trying to go. So if you want 2025 to be your year, you can click the link in the show notes, serviceindustrycoach.com, and go sign up for one-on-one coaching. It's month to month, no contract, straightforward, and I will walk you through step by step exactly what you need to do in order to crush the year. Okay. Second thing, Facebook group, y'all. Some of you guys, actually quite a few of you guys have joined in the last couple of weeks, which I'm pumped about. That link is in the show notes as well. Go join the free Facebook group. If you haven't joined that because whatever reason, it's free. I'm not selling you anything. Straight value in there. Over 200 people are in there now. All home service business owners. And dude, I'm telling you, we're networking. Questions are being asked. Questions are being answered. I'm posting on a daily basis, just my day, my thoughts, providing value. Go join the Facebook group, would you? Please do it for me. All right, let's dive in. Today we're talking about burnout. I wish there was hold on a second. Maybe you guys will be able to hear this. Let me say the word again. Burnout. I don't know if you could hear that. That's my screaming goat I have on my desk. Anytime something goes wrong throughout the day, I just hit the goat so I can start laughing. So today we're talking about burnout. And boy, if you're a business owner and you haven't experienced burnout, congratulations. I wish I was you. If you are a business owner and have experienced burnout, I'm right there with you. Most of us are probably. I can't tell you how many people I've done coaching with that are just like, Matt, I'm burnt out. I don't know what to do to get motivated. I don't even want to go to work anymore. I don't even know if I want to own this business. We're talking about this today because it's a real problem. And although there's not a perfect answer to solve it or prevent it, there are a lot of things that you can do to solve it or prevent it. And I know because I've gone through this season more than once, and I've done some deep work to get myself out of these ruts. So before we dive into step by step, let's just first give the interweb definition of burnout. Okay, so Mr. Google's telling me burnout is a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by prolonged or excessive stress. It's characterized by the following symptoms. Here's a few of the symptoms that they list. Feeling drained and depleted of energy. Feeling overwhelmed and unable to cope. Loss of enthusiasm and passion for work, business, or activities. Do any of these sound like you, especially the last one. I can relate with the last one more than you even know. Loss of enthusiasm and passion for my business, okay? That is, if you have that, by definition, you are burnt out, okay? You'll hear people say like, I don't believe in burnout, blah, blah, blah. Dude, you're an idiot, okay? If you don't believe in burnout, you're just trying to be a tough guy who acts like hard times don't exist, okay? They do. And anyone that's actually built anything in life that's worth even noting knows that these seasons definitely can come. And so why does burnout happen? Okay, I wrote some things down here. And everything I'm talking about today is my personal experience. Okay, so take it for what it is. These aren't things that I'm copying off the internet. These are things that I've lived through and done that have worked for me. I will put out there right now. These may or may not work for you, but boy, are they a good starting point for anybody. Okay, so why does burnout happen? The first thing is potentially you may have a poor work-life balance. Now, when people ask me about work-life balance, I've had many different answers on this depending on the season of life I've been in. In my early and mid-20s, I would have told you that there's no such thing. You'd need to do whatever you have to do in order to grow the business and sacrifice and blah, 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 which, listen, I'm still a huge component of that. I believe there is a season of your life, if you want to build a large business that serves you and your family, that you will have to sacrifice things in order to do so. Because if you didn't have to sacrifice those things in order to build that type of business, then everybody would do it. And the reality is only 7% of companies ever hit $1 million in revenue per year or more. So it's very rare that people build a big business. Why? Because most people aren't willing to sacrifice. However, you heard me use the word season. There are seasons of your life where you will have to sacrifice. That is totally normal. That is fine. It's okay. I've gone through many of them. What you must be thoughtful and careful of is to make sure that that doesn't become your entire existence forever. What a lot of us entrepreneurs do, me included, is we just move the needle. We move the goal when we hit it. And so we live in this world of chronic sacrifice in order to get to the next level of quote unquote being successful in our business. But what happens is when you do this years on years on years, you will eventually become burned out because we as human beings were created to do more than just build businesses. We just were, okay? On top of that, it's not really great for your family. If you're married, it's not great for your relationship. If you have kids, your relationship with your kids will suffer. And so I'm here to tell you work-life balance is important. Here's the best way that I've kind of found to make this work. I don't love the term work-life balance. I just like the term doing life. And so what I've incorporated in my life a lot with my daughter is including her into what I do. Now, she's not on my coaching calls and that kind of stuff, but if we're going to the office, she comes to the office with me all the time, right? Like for Brave American, if we're going to the warehouse, she'll come to the warehouse and hang out in the office and do her thing on her iPad or go walk out in the warehouse and jump on the forklift or whatever the case is. But we're doing it together, okay? But even on top of that, there has to be times where you go, I'm turning my phone off for X amount of time and spending time with my family, my friends, my people, whoever give me life, okay? So the first reason it happens is poor work-life balance. The second one, which is a huge one for us as owners, is low-level people in your circle, okay? Low-level circle of influence. I'm going to tell you exactly why this happens. You all have heard, you've heard me say it, you've heard a million people say, the 5 people you spend the most time with are who you'll become. Well, as owners, who do we spend the most time with? Our employees, okay? And this is not a bash on our employees, but if our employees were like us and thought like us, they wouldn't be our employees. They would be business owners. They would be entrepreneurs. They'd be waking up every day and going and killing what they eat, dragging it home. But instead, they don't. They come to work because they just want a job. They want a 9 to 5. And we need those people. But we cannot allow those people to be our circle of influence. And as owners, it's really, really difficult for that not to be the case. But what will happen is if that is the case, if that is the people you're around the most, you will suffer mentally. Being the smartest guy or gal in the room every single day will not allow you to grow. You will not become better. And in fact, I would argue over time, you'll likely become worse and you'll become burnt out. It is critical that you begin spending more time with people who lift you up, who are winning at a higher level, who make you look stupid because they're so much further ahead, right? Those are the people we need to be spending time with. The burnout happens because you're around your employees too much, okay? There's no getting around. You're going to have to be around them. But you need to surround yourself with high-level people too, which we'll talk about here shortly. Another reason, your company's out of control. It's not systemized. It's running you. And it's running you to death. And there's no end in sight. And I'm here to tell you, as much as I would love to give you a hug and tell you it's going to be okay, it's not. Until you take initiative to say, I'm sick of being sick and tired. I'm tired of running a business I don't like. I'm tired of running a business that runs me. I need help. Hire a coach. Hire a consultant. Hire me to be with you step by step every single week by your side, getting you to where you need to be so you can build the team and have the people in place that allow you to have an actual life outside your business. Here's a huge one. You're not inspired and you're not working on the things that inspire you. Okay, now, this isn't always perfect. We don't always get to do the things that make us happy. That's just life. That's just building a business. But we can prioritize time so that we do get to do the things that inspire us, that make us feel alive, that get us excited, which we're going to talk about here in a few minutes. But one of the reasons you're burned out is because you're not inspired, okay? You don't go to work every day and you're not excited. You're not excited about what you're doing anymore. And anybody would become burned out because of that. So let's give some how to avoid burnout frameworks, techniques, ideas, and you guys can take these for what they are and do what you want with them. So one of the first things that I would do if I was burned out, and one of the first things that I did when I became burned out, which totally flipped my life upside down, was self-care and discipline. So I'm going to read off a few of these things, okay? Getting in shape. Likely, if you don't go to the gym, let me just say this. If you don't go to the gym, the second you get off this podcast today, you need to go on Google and find a gym that's expensive, one of the most expensive gyms in your area. You need to go join it. Let me tell you what, the people I have networked with and met at the gym I go to is the most expensive gym within almost an hour radius, okay? The people that go to the gym are people who are doing big things in their life primarily, okay? This isn't Planet Fitness where people are joining for $10 and all the above, where you're getting the riffraff and the people who aren't dedicated and they're going to show up once a week for 2 weeks and be done. Go join the most expensive gym possible and start meeting people. Start talking to people while you're lifting weights on the treadmill. Introduce yourself. Go up to another guy or gal and ask them what they do for a living. I'm telling you right now, you can tell when people are well off at the gym just by the way they carry themselves. I can almost tell you every single person that I've met prior to meeting them, I could tell you if they were an entrepreneur, business owner, made a lot of money, etc., simply by the way they carried themselves with confidence. They were in shape. They took care of themselves. They were disciplined. Those are the people I want to meet. You want to get out of burnout or avoid burnout? Go join an expensive gym and start networking with people that are there. Second thing, how much sleep are you getting? Okay, I know this is kind of a boring one. What is your sleep routine? Because if one night you go to bed at 9, the next night you go to bed at 1, the next night you go to bed at 11, one day you wake up at 5, one day you wake up at 7:30, one day you wake up at 6, dude, you're going to be exhausted, okay? Your body just can't figure it out. And you're not alone. Like during Christmas break, my sleep schedule was jacked city. And I felt awful. Like I was tired. I was taking naps during the day. I'm like, what the F's going on? I'm like, oh, dude, your sleep schedule's jacked. Go to bed at the same time every single night and wake up at the same time every single morning and get in a sleep routine and watch what it does to your mental. I'm telling you guys, you will feel so much better, not just energy levels, but mentally. You'll be more clear. You'll be more positive. You'll be more motivated. Get your effing sleep. It matters. Next thing is, what does your diet look like? Are you eating healthy? Or, as many of us home service guys that are on the roads doing quotes, doing jobs, etc., are you eating out? McDonald's and Taco Bell and takeout and fast food crap because you're in between jobs. That used to be me. Okay. And I'm here to tell you, because that used to be me for, years. I was fat. I was 40 pounds heavier than I am now. Literally 40 pounds heavier than I am right now. And it was because I was making excuses to myself that I didn't have time to eat healthy. I didn't have time to meal prep or whatever the case was. And the reality was that was just all crap. I was just being lazy because, one, fast food actually tastes really good. Okay. I like McDonald's. I will destroy a Big Mac faster than you know. But the second thing is it's convenient, right? So I'd rather spend the $10, $12 a day and just fling through the drive-through and get it and eat it in 10 minutes and I'm done and never had to think about it. But guess what? For the years that I did that, I was one of the worst versions of myself. I gained weight. I was unhealthy. I was getting sick all of the time. Literally every other month, I was like severely sick with the flu, with a cold that would knock me out for a week. I'm like, the F is wrong with me, dude. I would just always be like, oh, I just don't have a good immune system. Of course you don't. You eat like trash. You don't work out. Your sleep habits are awful. Okay. And then guess what? Matt's burned out. Surprise, surprise. You're not taking care of yourself. Next thing, what are you doing to get in your quiet place? Okay, you're like, well, I don't know what you're talking about, Matt. What are you doing to get in your quiet place? This is what I'm going to challenge you with. As business owners, we have a million things going on every day. Now, as business owners that don't have a systemized business, you probably feel like you have 10 million things going on every single day, but you don't. You actually have the same amount as everybody else. It's just a disorganized nightmare. And that has your brain on rapid fire all day, every day. And by the end of the day, you probably feel mentally smashed. You're like, dude, I can't handle one more conversation. You probably come home. You're probably not super fun to be around a lot of times. A lot of times you probably just want to sit on the couch and turn the TV on for like a half hour. Maybe some of you guys have even said like, dude, I just need a few minutes to decompress. Okay? That used to be me. If that is you, I would encourage you to do this. Spend 1 hour per day in quietness, focusing on you and something that inspires you, something that's making you better. And see what happens over the course of 30 days. You're like, Matt, I don't have an hour out of my day. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Wake up an hour early. Do it on your 1 hour lunch break. Whatever you got to do. Do it after work. 1 hour a day. And honestly, for me, mornings are best. Because if I put it to the end of the day, there's a high probability something is going to get in the way of it. And it's just too easy of a thing to push off. So I like doing this early in the morning. Wake up, spend an hour with yourself. Don't turn music on. Don't turn a podcast on. Sit in your office, sit on the couch, go downstairs, go for a drive. I don't care. Go for a walk at the park. Do something alone where it's quiet and your brain can rest and think without being cluttered by the thoughts of the radio or employees or customers or podcasts. Okay? Try that 1 hour a day for the next 30 days and see how you feel. I guarantee you're going to feel better. The next challenge I'm going to give you, okay, and you can do this and what I just talked about at the same time. In fact, it's a great way to do it. I did this in one of my first boot camps and everybody loved it. Go for a 1 mile walk every single day. A 1 mile walk every single day before work, okay? Do it before work because, again, this is something that you can push off. Dude, you will come up with ideas for your business during these times like never before, okay? Some of my biggest business ideas came from these moments. They came from these walks. I still do them. Even though it's 10 degrees outside, I don't walk every day in 10 degrees. I'm going to be very honest because it's cold, but a lot of days I do. Okay. And the days I don't walk outside, I go to the gym and I walk the track inside. It's a non-negotiable for me. Okay. In the summer, dude, this is my favorite thing to do in the summer. I will do this for an hour or more every single day in the summer. And I won't turn headphones on. I won't even bring them. I'll grab my dog. We'll go for a walk. I listen to the birds. This might sound stupid. I'm telling you guys, dude, this stuff works, okay? The guys and gals in my boot camp were like, holy crap, dude, I'm like less stressed out because of this. Okay, 6 weeks in, they're like, I don't want to stop doing this. And it's because it gives your mind to a moment to think, to breathe, to be away from the noise. So these are huge things to do to avoid burnout. Next, we talked about this a little bit earlier. A supportive circle of influence. All right, so let's talk about this one because I feel like I'm very blessed in this area. I have a very supportive circle of people that I hang out with, that I talk to on a regular basis, and I'm always trying to level it up. And there's been times, honestly, it feels like it happens yearly, where I'm like, man, I got to level up my circle. I have to level up my circle. I feel like I'm getting to the point where I need higher leveled people in there. And that's not saying like the other people are bad. And sometimes those people level up with you, right? Which is awesome. But sometimes people are just the same. When you met them, you're like, oh my gosh, you're amazing. I can't believe you're building what you're building. But then like a year in, you're like, oh wow, like I've built what they built, right? Like it was totally doable. Constantly leveling up your circle. But more importantly is eliminating the negative people in your life. A lot of times, some of the most negative people in your life are the people who are closest to you. You're like, well, Matt, how do I get rid of them? I don't think you have to get rid of them. You have to set boundaries. And boundaries are healthy. They're healthy in relationships. And you need to communicate these boundaries clearly with these people, okay? Rather than just like cutting them cold turkey and not talking to them or responding to phone calls or texts, you need to have a conversation with them. Say, hey, man, like, listen, I love you, okay? Maybe you're my dad, my mom, my aunt, my uncle, my friend. Love you to death. I'm really trying to build something special in my life, and I believe I can do it. And if I'm being honest, you're just not the most positive person that I have in my life. And because of that, I need to limit the interaction that I have. Because what I've noticed is when I'm around you, when I leave, I feel down on myself. I question whether or not I can accomplish the things I want to accomplish. And because of that, I have to protect myself. And so I'm going to set boundaries. And I'm going to be honest. If you're negative, I'm going to tell you, and I'm not going to communicate with you. So I ask that you would fully support me. You would be positive influence in my life. I want that more than anything. But if you're not, you'll know why I'm not talking. And that's why. Those are healthy conversations to have. Okay? Hard as F. Not saying that's an easy conversation to have with your dad, with your aunt, with your uncle, with your friend, whatever. It's not, but it's healthy. And when you do it, people will be, there's really two responses. The first response is they're going to be defensive. I'm not negative. What do you mean I'm negative, right? Sayonara, sucker. All right? That person just set their own sail to leave your life, and that's okay. But a mature response, which happens more often than not, is they'll be like, dude, I'm really sorry. I guess I never realized I was being like that. And you're right, I am. And so I will work hard to not be that person around you. Boom. Dude, if some of us just had this conversation with the people closest to us like 20 years ago, our lives would have been so much more stress-free, okay? So sometimes removing or having these honest conversations with the negative people who are close to us, who are family members, will change everything for you and help you avoid burnout. Because here's the deal. If you got negative people in your ear all day who make you feel crazy, who make you feel less than, you think you're going to be excited, motivated, believing in yourself? Absolutely not. Nobody would. Okay? Next thing, is I want you guys to stay challenged and inspired. So this is why it's so important to know your goals. Your goals should inspire you. If your goals don't inspire you, you haven't set big enough goals, okay? So this is why it's important to have them in front of you all the time. You guys heard me a couple podcasts ago when I was talking about goal setting. Are your goals in front of you? Do you see them every day? Okay? What are your revenue goals for your business? What are your personal goals for your personal life? Are those in front of you? Do you have actionable steps day by day, week by week, month by month, so you know what to do in order to hit those? If not, you might know what your revenue goal is. Maybe you set a $750,000 revenue goal. Maybe you know that. But have you reverse engineered the numbers to actually set a plan in place so you know whether or not you're on track to hit that month by month strategically? If the answer is no, you're likely going to burn out trying to hit that goal because you don't even know where you're at, right? You can't even be inspired throughout the year because how would you be inspired if you don't even know where you're at when chasing the goal? Now, what if your goals are in front of you and you're on track and you're hustling and it's working and month after month you're hitting the numbers you know you need to hit? Dude, that gets exciting, okay? And then on the inspired side, you need to start doing some work inside your business that makes you feel alive, that gets you excited, right? You guys hear me talk about that feeling of hope. If I could bottle up that feeling of hope and sell it, I'd be a gazillionaire, right? What is it inside of your business that makes you feel alive? For me, I love sales and marketing. Dude, I'm a psycho when it comes to that stuff. I love split testing. I love testing new postcard designs and direct mail. I love running new Facebook ads and creating content and like honestly creating content, doing this stuff like the podcast, videos, that stuff makes me feel alive. So I prioritize it. I make sure that I do some of that every single day. That way I'm staying inspired and I'm doing the things that make me feel good. Okay. Last but not least, you must create a business that serves you. Okay. You have to build a team to offload some of the lower value tasks that you're doing on a daily basis so they can handle them for you. Okay. This is the only true way to really love your business, in my opinion, is to not be a servant of it. And the only way to not be a servant of it is to build a team. Now, this is really hard to do if you don't know what the heck you're doing. And again, hire somebody like myself or a coach or consultant who has done it, who can help you replicate what they did. And I'm telling you guys, this doesn't happen overnight. This doesn't happen over one season. But as each season goes on, you're going to plug in new pieces to the puzzle. And over the course of a handful of years, if you push like none other and you do everything that you're supposed to do, you can build a business that serves you. Now, I'm not here to say that when you do that, hard days don't exist. They do. You're a business owner. You put out fires. That's what we do. However, when you have a team that's doing a lot of the tasks that you used to do, the lower level tasks, guess what that frees you up to do? It frees you up to do the work that you're inspired by. It frees you up to go and take your kid out to lunch on a Tuesday. It frees you up to go home at 3 o'clock instead of 7 p.m. on a Friday, right? That's what teams do. So you have to begin getting in the mindset of building a business that serves you rather than you serving it. If you are the servant of your business, I guarantee, I promise without a shadow of a doubt, you will become burnt out and you may never recover from it. I've seen people quit business after business because this very thing happens. And then what happens is they get burnt out and they think it's the business. It's not the business, it's you. It's the way you built the business. It's what you've been doing inside of the business. It's the way the business is running you. And I'm here to tell you, running out and starting a new company and quitting the one you're in won't solve your problems. It might for a short second because you all of a sudden feel inspired again. But long term, you're going to fall back into the same rut over and over and over. I've built and sold businesses. I love the feeling of starting something new. It lights me up. But you have to figure out a way to stay lit up throughout the entire process of the business until it sells or it's systemized enough where you can move on to the next thing. What happens is when people are burnt out, they get distracted. And distraction kills businesses. Okay? You are only allowed to start something new when you have created something successful beforehand. Something that essentially runs itself. The most successful people I know didn't go out and start 7 companies. They might own 7 companies now, but it didn't start that way. They made one of their companies really successful that served them to free them up so they could go start the next one. Some of you guys are trying to start the next one before the first one's even working. And by working, I mean doing millions of dollars per year in revenue. And so, of course, you're going to be burned out if you're the servant of your own business. We have to turn that around and make it so your business serves you. And this is not an overnight thing. This takes time. But I'm here to tell you, if you're willing to put in the time, the effort, again, the sacrifice to build this, it does exist. There's plenty of people I know out there that have home service businesses doing millions, if not tens of millions of dollars per year that aren't bogged down by the daily tasks they were when they originally started. They're working on things that inspire them, okay? They're long-term thinkers, right? They didn't expect this stuff to happen overnight. They didn't expect to start a marketing campaign and 2 months later have their business be absolutely gushing revenue. Okay? They're like, dude, this is going to take years. But after those years happened, when they stayed disciplined throughout that process, guess what? Their business started to serve them and they love their life. They love their business and dude, they're living the dream. And that's what I want for you guys. So I'm going to wrap it up with that. Do those things to avoid burnout, okay? Everything I just mentioned. If you need to go listen to this episode again and take notes and be like, dude, I'm going to take like 2 of these things and focus on them and really implement them into my life. Everything I just told you, I have done. They all work, okay? And to be honest, I've been in some dark places when it comes to burnout. And those things right there is what pulled me out of it. So I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing week. Crush it, dude. It's freaking Monday. Monday's the best day of the week. This is the week that the world wakes up, everyone starts to go to work, and we're on fire, dude. We are itching to go kill something and drag it home because opportunity is endless for us. Every day we wake up, we do not have a ceiling. Today, you do not have a ceiling. Go out there and get it. You guys deserve it, and it's yours to have. I'll see you on the next episode. Thank you for listening to this episode of the podcast. As always, if you need any help marketing your business or want to work with me directly doing one-on-one coaching, visit serviceindustrycoach.com. We'll see you on the next episode.